Welcome everybody, it's that time. We're going to do a little shop up, window shopping in a department store. And we've done these in Selfridges, we've done them in Harvey Nichols. But here today, we're in Brown Thomas in Dublin. And everything I'm going to show you, which is going to be from high-end high street to designer, could be available anywhere in the world. But it's inspiration of what would we like to add in our wardrobe or buy pre-loved based on something we see in a store. So look down there, a little bit of Trinny London. So exciting to be here. It's such a beautiful store. And you know, I sometimes think, even if you're feeling, I can't buy anything at the moment, to come into a department store, sometimes when I'm really broke, throughout years of my life, I've come into a department store just to think, that's what is going on this season, or look at those colors together, the inspiration, the juice is flowing. And each department store has a buying department. And I think what's really interesting behind the scenes in department store life is you can go into a department store and they'll buy things very differently from another one. And sometimes I'm in London at certain department stores and I just think, fashion's really not inspiring this season. And then I come somewhere else and I think I'm inspired. And I found that here because I was in another department store in London where I just thought, ugh. And I even went up to personal shopping and they were going, it's so uninspiring this season. And I've come here and I've been quite inspired. So I'm going to share with you some of that inspiration. There's a bag I'm obsessed with, which I'm waiting for somebody to copy because it's too expensive. But there's a really good bag department. We're going to start on that traditional second floor of a department store, which is sort of COS, Skimms, Lululemon, that kind of thing. So why don't we start at COS? When you see COS inside a department store, it's kind of easier to navigate because it's been cherry-picked. And there's a few things here I love. The first thing is, which I bought actually, and it's a jeans shirt. And I know John is behind the camera going, oh my God. I like the fact that it's tailoring and yet frayed, and the combination is great. You could wear it as a jacket or you could wear it as a shirt. You could wear it tucked in. Tucked in might be tricky, I'd wear it out. But you could also wear it over a bikini in the summer. You could wear it with a white t-shirt underneath. You could wear it just kind of layered with a double denim moment. But even now, if I do this with that moment there, it's cool. However you do it, it's going to feel cool. I love it like that. And it's just totally changed my whole outfit. So you might have a jeans shirt at home which you're bored with. Get a razor, fray it. Do something. That is a good piece. Black dress. Now you all said I've been doing a lot of black recently, but this is a good shape. This shape is not cut on the bias. Now cut on the bias can cling you nicely, but also make you hippie if you don't want to be hippie. But this is a shape where the fabric is sewn with a double seam, a seam at the front and back. So what it means is it gives you this lovely waist, but it just goes straight instead of clinging your hip. And if you have a lower hip like me, I don't like it clinging down there. Very nice. You can put a huge necklace on and it just takes you anywhere. It's nice linen. Oh, my bags, my babies. I have this in silver. It is like wearing a duvet, but it's cool. It's easy. It becomes a piece of architecture on your body. They did so many of these, what I call waffle bags, because there's a Scandinavian expression about it's very waffly, hugely, waffly. And it means when it's cozy, but this is just great. I've actually traveled with my silver one as an overnighter. And you know, it's difficult because we all have a wheelie, but this is so light and you can fit so much in it, however you wear it. I just love it. Now this color, I loathe, but if you're blonde or strawberry blonde, like Faith here, look, this is a good color for Faith.
Hi.
Okay, but like that coloring for Faith is good because Faith has a warm hair and like cream, and you suit white actually.
Oh, I really want this.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? I know, I love it. Then we've got my favorite cashmere jumper. I have this in quite a few colors. And what it's good, I mean, let's take cashmere apart because there's short-haired cashmere and long-haired cashmere. And some Chinese cashmere is very short hair, which means you're going to go like that with a handbag and you get baubles immediately. And COS, their cashmere, I think is a long-haired cashmere because it hardly ever baubles. That's the art. And then here, come in the detail, this wonderful ribbing. And I wear it with a shoulder pad and it looks quite architectural. They have it in grey, they have it in black, they have it in fuchsia, they have it in khaki, and they have it in cream. Just amazing. This is another thing I really want. I know it's so fun. This is like when you want some jewelry which isn't jewelry and a piece which isn't a piece and a bag, and it's all there in one thing. So cool. It's about texture, that combination of textures, which is so exciting. If you wear black a lot, if you wear silk with leather and tweed and cord, it's that change in the texture of black that makes black interesting. And it's a really good leather. It's like you smell like a wine, you know how good it is. But I really want that bag. Skimms. Should we try Skimms? Now, Chloe, who's behind the camera, you got that black dress from Skimms. You wear it so much. It's amazing. And I think what is utterly brilliant about Skimms is their size inclusivity, because it goes from XXXS to X4L. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 sizes. So you're really going the equivalent of an 18 to a 22, 8 to 22, or a 6, like that. It's good and it's stretchy. And they have lots of colors. But the most important thing is they're inclusive in skin tone. So you want a body, or you want to have some coverage. There's a lot of sheer this season. I use this one in the summer. I use this color for my thing I wear in the sheer film I did. And then there's 2 or 3 more shades. And that just makes underwear. If you want to wear a skin-toned dress, you will feel that you've got beautiful underwear underneath. They also have all these kind of different shaped. I'm going to show the dress you love, Chloe. It's here. This is just, I mean, you throw this one with a blazer, don't you? And you have a shirt on top or underneath. It's like the best basic piece. And is it good at washing, Chloe? It is. You just put it in the machine? Yeah, it's a great piece. That's what I'd say about Skimms. And they have all these bodies here. They have stuff for different shaped bottoms too. I mean, they think of everything to do with your body, real bodies. Bras, actually I might want to try their bras. I haven't tried their bras yet. Let's go down over there. We're getting a bit more high end, but I'm just going to show you Ami. Not like Isabelle Morant, it's slightly different, but nice black coat. But I don't want to do black. Some interesting things here. Don't like that fabric. I always go by texture. J.W. Anderson, he also designs for Loewe, which is one of my favorite designers, and his own range is more streetwear, and he'll do very oversized pieces, something like that. And I just look at things like that and I think, could I wear that? You know, do I feel that's going to overwhelm me? But I'm going to try it. And this is where you could buy this secondhand in Rocket in Brick Lane, all right, that kind of look. So I'm going to put it on and think, is the best way to wear this if I'm more classic than street, over classic to make it cooler? And it's like how you layer fashion. That, you know, if I take away my little Diamante necklace, it adds this thing, and if I then had trainers on, it just adds this way to a smart outfit that works. But it's really cool. It's super cool. And I would always look at something like this and be a bit, you know, sometimes you have to try things on and think, actually, what scared me as a concept, which was it's too street or it's too this, and you put it on, and there's a consideration when you're a designer to make something beautiful in whatever category it is, and I want this desperately now. And I looked it on here and I thought, is that me? Or is that Lila? And now I look it on and I think, I'd even make my hair straight and grungy if I was doing this look. Or I'd chuck it back. You know, it's just about, it's like this look shouldn't have curly hair. It shouldn't have done hair. You know, it's got to be a bit like that. I love it. And I love that hint of orange. We got a beanie. You really think I can? Okay, I am wearing my mother's tea cozy for her teapot, frankly. Some of you might say it's like my Prada hat, but better. But anyway, it's hiding my hair and I didn't want it to look curly. But this is it, we're playing in the department store. Then I wouldn't buy things like this. You know, the reason I wouldn't buy it is this is my darling stepson's jumper after Lily, the dog, has been sitting on it for 3 weeks and made a hole. So to spend a few £100s on that, I couldn't do it. You know, the distressed look, it looks like a tired jumper. Whereas this looks like something that would make my classic clothes cooler. On we go. This is now an area, like weddings this year. You want to go to a wedding Arge is a brilliant Australian brand. Lila loves it. Love Shack Fancy is an American brand over there. And Cecile Barnson is another brand. This is like, we're now in wedding territory. So if you are a little sugar plum fairy, you're going to love Cecile because she does these dresses that bring to life romance. And they're little girly, and they're always this sort of, again, we're in that waffly fabric, but they float. Her clothes float, and they're beautiful. And I wish I could wear them, but I look like, I'm not, I just have to say it. Now, Arge will have things that I think it doesn't matter what age you are, but I know when Lila wore, last year she went to Ascot and she had this beautiful puffed sleeve dress, and that was Arge. And one of their signature styles is this kind of volume, like Celia, but patterns, and a kind of fun. But they can be voluminous, so you've got to make sure they don't wear you. This is a classic Arge dress. You know, you could wear it to a wedding, you could wear it to the races. It's just beautiful. The color is beautiful. Fab. Yeah, really fab. All right, Love Shack Fancy. It's American. It does little prints with little lace. I love it, but I've gone off it a bit. Self-portrait. Self-portrait's interesting. There's a beautiful self-portrait store in the King's Road near our office, and I look at these pieces and they're so exquisitely put together. And sometimes I look at things and I think, my God, that's the most beautiful, most expensive thing. Where did you get it? And it's self-portrait, but I think it's Chanel. And other times I look and I think that's a self-portrait dress. So I think you have to buy carefully within self-portrait. It suits a certain figure, and they're not huge, you know, their size inclusivity does not go that far up the ladder, which I think it would be wonderful if they did a bit more, like Ganni does and Rixo does really well. And they're both in that same bracket in price points. Their use of applique and sheerness and embellishment is really pretty, and it reminds me of, you know, Prada shows years ago that they would have a top like that for £1,000, you know. And this is still designer, but accessible designer, I would say. I look at something like that, and it's incredibly classically beautiful. And you could wear it grungily with a trainer, or you could dress it up and have a huge picture hat. I think it has things to it. Rotate. I've had a lot of Rotate dresses. This is a brand, how long ago did we discover Rotate, Molly?
About 2.5 years ago.
Love it. I did for the launch of something.
Sale for your birthday.
Yes, my birthday sale. It was that big sequin puff sleeve with the winch in, and they do that dress again and again, but it's such a great shape. They haven't got any of it. Oh, they have. Hang on, that's like it. Nearly. Yeah, that's a simple version of what it is, actually. That's underplaying what they do. I mean, then there's little cute dresses like that. Sexy, cool dress. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? And if you're somebody who's, you know, you've got narrow shoulders, they're so good at volume on the shoulder. The more volume on the shoulder, the more you get this waist and you get this shape. And if you're somebody straight up and down, volume on the shoulder makes your waist proportionally go in more, and it just gives you a different shape. So I kind of love it. I just saw this for Lila.
We got it in the room.
It's kind of cute for Lila. I want to try it on, but as soon as I try it on, she'd never then want it because I've tried it on. And also, this is something I wore when I was 5, but there's something about me that has just put it on. It won't look good over what I'm wearing, but I don't know, I just still have to try it on. You know, it's kind of cool. It has a structure to it. I'd wear it like with a white skirt. It reminds me of those beautiful padded jackets that you will get from India, and they have them in London on the Portobello Market in a lot of print. But what I like is this print is more architectural. It's not so, you know, like an iCat print from India. It's just a more graphic print, so it feels more modern. And the shape is so good. I don't know if Lila's getting it because I've just seen the price. But anyway, it's very nice, and it's by Rode. Farm Rio has been around for about, I think, 3 years now. I mean, that's like full-on fab, hippy-dippy glamour. You could wear that running on a beach barefoot. It's just great. It's just mad. And Farm Rio is always about print. You will hardly ever see anything which is totally plain. So even that is a beautifully broderie anglaise. And they just have joyous prints. Why on earth it's called Farm Rio? I don't know the history of it. I don't know if it's anything to do with Brazil. It just appeared in Liberty, and it's here. Does anyone know the details of Farm Rio? Where is it from? It is, thank you, thank God I got that right. I can see actually now that beautiful influence of sort of Rio Carnival. That's cool. That's just beautiful colours. Oroton is from Australia, Stout is from Scandinavia, Alim is from Australia, and this is like, I would call accessible Zimmermann. The girl who designs Alim, I think used to design at Zimmermann and started her own label. And I think she uses prints really well. It's 2/3 the price or half the price of Zimmermann. It's got the joy of those prints in breathable fabrics. There's a dress I tried on with Lila, which I love. But like this reminds me of when I was a kid. You know, that little print. I used to get these for Lila, in fact, when she was 3, but there's a nostalgia. You know when you find some kind of print and it's just so nostalgic, you think, I want to wear it. I should put it way back down, but it can look really, like it would look cool on you with a t-shirt. You know,
with
it's
my
like,
scrunchie.
with her scrunchie. I know, we're having fun. We're gonna do 3 or 4 more things on this floor, see what there is. A look at the catwalk show. So Ulla Johnson is this New York designer, and she used to be like $300 a dress, but no, not anymore. But she does these whimsical dresses which are kind of 70s inspired prints, but beautiful prints. Her colors together, I think she designs these prints for the dress, and that's what you're paying for, is that design. And they're just exquisite. This dress we actually used last night for our fashion show we did with Brown Thomas, but it's such a pretty dress. And the thing about something like this, like investment per wear, you'll have it as long as you want to feel comfortable showing your cleavage. So if you're 30 and you really invest in it, you could have it till you're 70 and it would never go out of fashion. It just wouldn't. It's like, I've seen a version of this dress for 30 years and it's great. Whereas that is a statement of an era of where we're at now with the volume and everything, whereas that I've seen forever and this I've seen for the last 3 years. So when you're thinking, I've got a finite amount of money, I really want to invest in a premium dress, go for the one I always think that's going to have the longevity in your wardrobe. There are lots of brands that do a diffusion range, and Isabelle Morant is a brand that is a perennially cool French woman, and Etoile is the diffusion range. And it's got some things where you just see it and you think, is that Morant or Etoile? You can't really tell the difference until maybe you feel the fabric, but there are things like this is, you know, a viscose, and would I think that's Isabelle Morant when I see it? I might, but if I got that, I might think to myself, is that Etoile or is that Morant? Because that print and the fabric is very much either. If I look at the shirts, if it was Isabelle Morant as opposed to Isabelle Morant Etoile, this would be silk and this is viscose. So it's like there's an inspiration of her design totally and prints, but maybe the fabric's different. Spending money to publicize somebody's name on the front, I don't think is a good investment buying into designer fashion. Just buy a great, structured, well-made piece. That's more important than paying for the label. Let's look at Reformation. They are really into sustainability and their fabrics are incredibly sustainable. I'm going to pick up denim now, but there will be a sustainable story around the denim. They're very good at occasion dresses. I get Lila, each year I get her one of these dresses, and they will take her through any special occasion. That's a really cute dress, but I would spend money here on their occasion wear more than on a more casual item, because I think otherwise it's expensive for what it is. That's a really beautiful shaped leopard print dress, because I know if you've got a little gorgeous bosom going on, that shape, the way it splays out, the sleeve being 3/4 length, for somebody who's long-legged, goes in sort of C cup and above, it's going to be so sexy and fab. And that again, that's the kind of dress of when we want to be the wench, but we want to be the virginal wench. That's a dress we would wear. And that oxymoron of being the virginal wench. The wench is like the taming of the shrew. If William Shakespeare, she was a wench, like a minx, okay? But you want to be a sort of virginal minx. So that's the dress. Do you not get my language? Ganny, Scandi. Look there, we got another one of those. You see, now I'm getting obsessed. But that, same principle again, but so different because it's got sleeves. It's just, I don't even want to try it on, but you know, should we? All right, let me just see, because to me, I just see something that feels very, see, it's really expensive. Let's talk about the concept of oversized, shall we? Because this is small, medium. There's a definite fashion to be oversized right now. It's not going anywhere. And I think there's, like, if I do oversized suits, I could just look like I'm worn by the suit. So when you do oversize, like Annie, who works with me a little bit in fashion, so I might then pull it up and just have somewhere a difference in that whole volume. So by pulling that up, I've still got the oversize, but it's not wearing me. There's a way of doing it. You know, we think of always, we should wear a blazer with something smart in tailoring. But putting this on compared to the blazer I was wearing before makes me look at it and think it's cooler. This is good. And when I saw it on the hanger, I wasn't going to go there, but it's good. That's what I mean, try something on. And how much, if you have very conservative clothes, that would change everything compared to buying another navy blazer. That's the thing. What are you going to switch up in your wardrobe? And this is why coming in a department store enables you to review what you've got there. I'm going to very quickly go to Ganny. They always have a leopard print skirt, a leopard print dress, everything. So I would love leopard print. Extreme cashmere. I've seen extreme cashmere in Chiltern Street in London. They have a fantastic store, and this is their brand. You always see this with these little colours. And they do have the most incredible 3 or 4 ply cashmere, and they're very sustainable. It's all about cashmere loves water, how they make it. You know, they talk about all their techniques. So if you love cashmere and you're obsessed and you go high end, you'd be going to Extreme Cashmere or a brand from LA called the Elder Statesman. Okay, whistles. When did we last see Whistles and Hobbs? I mean, this is a part of the department store I'd never go, but I'm going to go and see if I can find something I like. I'm not good in a MAC, but this is a MAC which is simplified. It's got no alipets and it's got no extra bits on the wrist. And I like the idea of a cleaner looking MAC. So I think this feels smarter. I actually think that's a cool MAC and it's a nice shape and I like the length. So I think that's good. This is Whistles. It's really a great clean shape. I don't like these extra things there. So it's good. Yeah, it's nice. Hobbs. Many years ago with my lovely erstwhile partner Susanna, we were obsessed with these flat brown leather Hobbs boots. And if you remember ever buying a book or what not to wear, I wore those boots endlessly. And I haven't been to Hobbs since. They used to have 2 stores on the King's Road and they were taken over by another store. So I'm just looking and thinking, does this talk to me? Does this talk to me as a concept? I think it's just too classic. You know, this is a classic shift dress. I would never in my life again want to wear a classic shift dress because I think I did that in an era and I wouldn't go back there. I think of Lady Di in a classic shift dress. It's not just enough interest for me. And there are some people who look beautiful in classic clothes, but I always want to have a little twist to my clothes. I'm not great with a matching belt like this. I think it's just not great. It's a nice little jacket. It's just not there for me. And I used to buy Hobbs when I was in my 30s. These classic, really, you know, these names that we've known for years, if we've been around buying things for years like Whistles and Hobbs, there's more out there now. You could go to COS instead and be doing that Scandi look. You could go to Zara, to Mango, to Massimo Dutti. Before there used to just be Hobbs, Whistles, Kukai in the 90s. And there's so much more now. So that's why they slowly get delegated to a different part of the department store. I feel really sad saying it because I used to shop in here. But Hobbs, you know, think about doing a few other things too. That's what I'm going to say. Think about what else you could do just to perk it up a bit. Theory and Vince. I think
that MAC over there was from this, was from here, not from Whistles.
Oh my God, that MAC we liked was not from Whistles. It's Theory. So
Sorry,
Theory, I think is owned by Uniqlo. Because in London, in the Uniqlo store, there's a Theory section. And I was so interested because I was thinking Theory is very clean and minimal. It's an American brand, and yet it was with Uniqlo. So I think Uniqlo bought it. So what Theory will have is a suit that is classic in a neutral color, and you'll get a navy one, you'll get a taupe one, you'll get a black one, you'll get a beige one, and it's something you can then do things with. It's a really great basic. So I do love Theory, and it works. And you'll get nice little, like a perfect little silk sleeveless shirt to wear under things. Vince used to be known for more casual wear. They've gone into a little bit more tailoring. They do sort of silky things. I don't know if they're from LA but they're that kind of, LA does tailoring brand. Even if they're not from LA, they're American. Classic blazer, easy, one button, just no print in sight. Neither of these brands have I ever seen do a print, or maybe Brand Thomas didn't buy a print, but they would do a check or a stripe, but they wouldn't do a floral print. That would not be them as a brand. I'm gonna go down to the store. On the way out, I'll show you my favorite designer bags. Who doesn't love a designer bag moment? Louise Kennedy. We can't not do Louise Kennedy because we're in Dublin. And she has a Trinny London yellow jacket, and I've been looking at this every day, so I have to try it on. But Louise Kennedy is the doyenne of original Irish designers that we love. There was John Russia and his daughter Simone Russia. Simone Russia has also become a fantastic designer. But Louise is, I mean, that is actually gorgeous, beautiful, so exquisitely made. These are clothes for women who want understated, beautiful, chic design. And, you know, as well made as Chanel, with such attention to detail. And I've met Louise and she's a total perfectionist. But it's a really beautiful jacket. I mean, that is super, super chic. It's fun. And also, look. Oh my God, it's a magnet! The world of bags. I mean, whenever I go in a department store, Lila goes, oh, mummy. You know, and I just think it's beautiful. It's sort of Miu Miu, but it's saying Miu Miu. I think we're getting hopefully past a stage where we're doing so much advertising for a brand on a bag. When I look to buy a bag, I want to buy something that gives me joy. So this, you know it's Paco Rabanne. It gives me joy because I just think that's like a piece of jewelry as a bag. So I love it. These ones literally don't fit a phone, but they're a piece of jewelry. And they're there for life. So something like that, you know where it's from, but it's not saying loudly. Victoria Beckham does incredibly good bag designs. Like that, super sharp. It is Victoria, yep, there. Incredibly well made. And then something like that, very simple. I think this number here is interesting. I suppose it's showing it's just a limited edition, but it's interesting that. This is the bag I love the most in this store. Many, many years ago, I was given a bag from Alaya, which was like this in white. It's a square one, but with these flowers, and I loved it. And they also have these heart-shaped bags. But I think what I love about this is it's beautifully made. You don't see anywhere Alaya, but I mean, obviously I'm wearing a circled rivet skirt today, and the worst thing is when you try something on when it replicates your outfit and it couldn't do anything other than go just unbelievably perfectly with what you're wearing, and fit everything you need in it. And anyway, that's the end, Claire. I've got to go now, but I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.